welcome to the April 10th edition of Amateur Hour. I am Safwan Alvi, joined as always by Ryan Korengel, Leo Saylor, Ryan Poley.
Hi.
We got a lot of things to get to today. We got baseball, we got basketball, and we're going to have some GOAT debates.
The great debate, one might say.
This is the big one.
We'll get to those at the end. We'll get to the GOAT debates at the end. But first, we are going to get to the next big postseason in sports, and that is the NBA playoffs starting on Sunday. What do you guys think?
I'm around the LeBron train. You can't just write out the best player of all time just because he's had a difficult regular season with his team plagued with injuries and whatnot. He's having the season of his life again. So season high numbers. He's leading the league in points, assists per game. Still averaging 9 rebounds and 9 assists a game. So it's kind of hard to debate with those numbers.
Yeah, we are going to go through every single matchup, and we are going to predict our winners all the way to the finals. So let's get started. First, we will start in the West, which is obviously the way better conference.
The wild
1 through
Not
8.
close either.
Yeah.
Obviously, the West, we know 1 and 2 have been steady all year. The Rockets and the Warriors have been the two best teams in the NBA all year. 3 through 8 have been within 1 game of each other basically all season. Mm-hmm. We've had surprises like the Trailblazers. The Spurs fell off a little bit because of the whole Kawhi Leonard situation. You have the Utah Jazz, who have been a surprisingly really good team.
Really good defense.
They lost Gordon Hayward. They're really well coached. Donovan Mitchell has come out of nowhere, arguably the Rookie of the Year. Mm-hmm. A lot of really good teams in the West. So the first matchup will go with the 1 and 8. Obviously, this is projected. The Nuggets and the Timberwolves will play to determine who gets in as the last team. So we will see that. But overall, these brackets are set up. So first, we're going to go with the Rockets and Pelicans. Do we think the Pelicans have any chance in the series?
No, not without DeMarcus Cousins.
I don't think with them they have a chance in the series.
I think this series is over pretty quickly. I think the Rockets sweep this in 4.
Has there ever been a 1 and 8 upset in the NBA?
I think it's happened a few times, if I'm not mistaken. It's not coming up on the top of my mind, but I think it's happened.
Little history buff.
We'll find out.
And then now for the 2 and 7, we have the Warriors and the Timberwolves. This one is interesting because of Steph Curry's status.
Well, we don't know this one yet.
Well,
we don't know this match.
The Wolves and the Nuggets are playing for that 8 seed.
Who do you guys think wins, the Nuggets or Timberwolves?
I want to see the Timberwolves because they got a rejuvenated Derrick Rose coming back, Karl Anthony Towns, Jimmy Buckets is back. Mm-hmm. They have a really good fresh lineup and a good amount of depth to match the Warriors.
Yeah, I think the Timberwolves win. Plus, Gary Harris is just coming off a knee injury, so he's still trying to get back into a rhythm. I think the Timberwolves win the game.
I'm a big Andrew Wiggins guy.
Yeah, I wish the best for him.
Me too, especially after he was traded for Kevin Love.
Great.
Wow.
So we got the Warriors and Timberwolves. We all think the Timberwolves will win in the playing game. Warriors Timberwolves without possibly Steph Curry. Is this a close series, or do you guys think the Warriors are still going
closer than projected? He's the staple in their lineup. Without him, they're I think 3 and 8 or 4 and 8, something like that in the last 2 weeks of the season.
The Timberwolves got players. Jimmy Butler and Andrew Wiggins are defenders.
They will
Karl
score
Anthony
points.
Towns.
Yeah.
Tom Thibodeau goes on defense.
I think that if they were to play 7 regular season games, right, then I think the T-Wolves win the majority of the 7, hence the regular season hypothetical series. But since this is the playoffs, it's a different animal. There's a lot more on the line.
A lot more intensity.
A lot more intensity, and not all these guys have played this way. Derrick Rose did many moons ago, Jimmy Butler did a while back.
And he's coming off an injury too.
Right, Karl Anthony Towns has never. Andrew Wiggins has never. So I think the experience comes in to the place that although I think they may even be very well matched up to each other without Steph Curry, I think that experience carries the dubs over them in that series.
I mean, we may be overlooking their playoff experience a little bit because the Warriors are seasoned veterans when it comes to playing in the playoffs and getting to the finals. But all these guys on the Timberwolves, they have NCAA experience, which is just as high intensity, maybe even higher intensity than the NBA.
No, man.
They're all
the NBA playoffs and
happens.
the NCAA tournament is a completely different animal.
Yeah, it is. But all these guys were younger and very, very energetic, and they're still that way in the NBA in the peak of their career, just scoring more points. It's just
they got the stars. You need stars to win in this league. They have Andrew Wiggins, they have Jimmy Butler, Karl Anthony Towns. They got the players. Personally, with Steph Curry, I think this is a 4 or 5 game series.
Yeah.
But without Steph Curry, I still think the Warriors get it done.
It'll go to 6, I think.
I think Kevin Durant takes over.
Yeah, it'll be a close 6.
I think the experience is going to catch up, and I think the Warriors will win this in 6.
Mm-hmm. But riding that out, I think the Warriors are going to be so beat up during the playoffs, they're not going to win the finals this year.
The West is a.
Yeah,
is a
I think
extremely-
Houston takes advantage of them being fatigued by the Western Conference Finals.
Championship hangover too. Is that a reasonable point to make?
Yeah.
You know, we see all these teams go on these deep runs year after year. Does that catch up to you? That's a lot of basketball.
Eventually it does. Like LeBron is like tired by the end of every game every year, but he still puts up those numbers, so it's kind of hard to debate
He's a
that.
freak.
Yeah.
He's a freak. And we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
We'll get to the East in a second.
Yeah.
So now we got the 3-6 matchup. The Trailblazers and the Jazz. Both of these teams obviously are really pleasant surprises. The Jazz especially losing Gordon Hayward but getting Donovan Mitchell, which is
kind of a nice trade-off.
Really nice trade-off. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum.
The best guard duo.
The best backcourt in the NBA. This is going to be a good series. And I think this is a really close one. This could go 6 or 7, depending on how Donovan Mitchell plays. Guys, he's a rookie. We don't know how he's going to perform.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I trust the experience. CJ McCollum, Damian Lillard. I have this one going 7. Damian Lillard takes over Game 7. Blazers win.
I think it goes 5 because I don't.
Oh, you think it's a pretty quick series?
Yeah, I don't think the Jazz can hold up against the guard duo because they don't have anybody else that can match up. Because like Donovan Mitchell can only guard one guy at a time. Like nobody even knows about his defense. Like I don't even know his stats off the top of my head. But like Rudy Gobert guards the paint. They don't use the paint that often. Besides like pick and roll, like high low defense, all that stuff. I don't know the intangibles of like posterior defense and offense, but like I do know that CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, unless they are like 0 for on the night, they will light it up every single game.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest basketball guy. I can't always speak about basketball with full knowledge. This is one of those situations. All I know about either of these teams is Dame Lillard. Big Dame Lillard fan. Just love the way I've seen his.
And he's a
highlights go.
rapper.
Yeah, he's not bad either. You know, I mean he's pretty solid. I mean he's not Lonzo, but he's pretty solid. Now on the court we might have a different story, but I'll go with the Trailblazers just because I like Dame. So.
And then finally for the 4-5 matchup, we got the San Antonio Spurs versus the Oklahoma City Thunder.
OKC all the way.
OKC.
You guys, Oklahoma City wins.
Russ.
I think without Kawhi Leonard, they can't beat anybody. With Kawhi Leonard, I think they beat the Thunder, but without him, they're not beating anybody in the playoffs.
I think with him it's close, but without him, not only do you lose his offensive production, but his defense.
Yeah, he's got
Russ
like
is gonna
the biggest
run wild.
hands I've ever seen. Like
Right.
he could palm like 3 basketballs if he wanted to.
Bigger than Johnny Bench?
He could hold 5 baseballs.
7 baseballs. No, was it 5?
I think it was 7.
I think it was 7.
It was like between each finger and like 2 in the palm or something.
Yeah, but like they weren't stacked or like wedged in.
Yeah,
like,
he was just holding
he
it
was legit
laterally.
gripping.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen it, check out the Johnny Bench holding 7 baseball pictures. It's incredible.
So, I think it's a firm decision. The Thunder get out.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So
High
now
octane
moving
offense.
on to the second round, the Rockets versus the Thunder. I don't think the Rockets struggle too much in this one either. I think the Rockets in 6.
Oof.
I mean,
James
6. I mean, like a hard 6, not a soft 6. I want it to go like a close game in Game 6, but the Rockets close it out.
I think James Harden's got a little bit of pent-up animosity, 6th man of the year. I was riding the bench. He traded me for nothing.
Now he's going to win the MVP.
I mean,
Right.
he didn't exactly he didn't leave on bad terms. He left by himself because he was a free agent. Like
Right.
he wasn't traded. or
No,
anything.
James Harden was traded. He was
Was
traded
he
for
traded?
He was traded for Kevin Martin.
Oh yeah, you're
That
right.
trade, yeah. James Harden was
not
traded.
recognize his true value.
No, I mean 6th man of the year. It's kind of hard to ignore that, but at the same time, you think like Jamal Crawford. You're not going to put him in your starting lineup.
To me, 6th man of the year means guy in the league with the highest potential.
I'm about to say, you also got to realize potential. 6th man of the year doesn't mean he's just a bench player.
Right.
Every team situation is different. So just because James Harden was on the bench for that team doesn't mean he didn't have good value.
But at
and
the same
Thunder have to
time,
be
the
better.
6th man is like the go-to scorer against the second team. That's like being the scout team all-star.
And the 6th man is extremely important. If you have a good 6th man, you have a better likelihood of, making runs in the playoffs, having a deep bench.
You can keep your best players at a higher energy level than your opponent because your 6th man is able to step in and produce, not at the same clip because he's your 6th man, but at a good enough clip to keep you in the game while the other team's players are getting, they're gassed.
Yeah. So who do you guys got? Thunder or Rockets?
Rockets in 6.
Yeah, I got Rockets in 6.
I got the Rockets.
Okay, so we got the
Well,
Rockets
that's
and the...
very contingent, right? I mean, there's an underlying question in that one too. Is James Harden going to be James Harden? Is James Harden going to be that guy from last year?
I mean, he's going to be James Harden to the Western Conference Finals. That's where he starts, pissing his leg a little bit.
All right.
And then we got, in the second half, we got the Trailblazers and Warriors. Personally, I think Steph Curry's obviously going to be back by this time.
Not fully healthy, though.
Not fully
he's
healthy.
got some bum legs.
I don't
dude.
think it matters.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Really?
Personally, even if Steph Curry doesn't play, they get by the Trailblazers because Kevin Durant is going to manhandle anybody The Trailblazers don't have anybody that can guard Kevin Durant. Damian Lillard can't guard Kevin Durant.
I don't
so
think
they
any
can't
team
guard-
does.
Yeah, nobody has an answer for Kevin Durant, especially the Trailblazers. They don't have any forward.
You can only pray to contain the man.
Right.
He's 6'11" and has a jump shot that's out.
And
of
then
this
they're
world.
likely going to get Steph Curry back. I think this one isn't 5. I think Warriors handle this one pretty easily because of the matchup.
Yeah, you also have to realize even if Steph isn't at 100%, maybe he's not doing his thing that we're used to. He's still a tremendous playmaker. He's one of the best in the league, I should say. But I mean, it's that does mean.
Oh yeah, Steph is a
especially-
transcendent player.
Right, especially when you think you got the 3-point machine in Klay Thompson.
Yeah, he
You
dropped
know,
like
that means
22
so
in the
much.
first quarter, like 2 days ago.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable talent.
Sometimes we forget how good this Warriors team really is.
Yeah.
We're so prone
It's
to
so
it now.
easy to overlook him because we're looking for more news. You get tired of talking about the same team.
Warriors
all
in
the
the championship. Warriors winning the championship.
Yeah.
Wow, what is new?
time. They're the
All
bad
right.
boys, though.
So Western Conference Finals, Rockets, Warriors, just like everybody predicted, right? Majority of the people, experts, us, everybody thinks it's Warriors, Rockets. Who gets it done? Who goes to the finals out of the West?
I hope the Rockets do. Honestly, I want the Rockets to.
By this time, I think Steph is back and almost fully healthy. The Warriors are still the best team in the NBA. The Warriors get to the finals. I think it's a good series. I don't think James Harden has a complete blow up like he did against the Spurs.
Yeah, but the
I
Chris
think
Paul too. Like you can't just count him out. Like he's been a playmaker all year.
Yeah, Chris Paul is amazing. Chris Paul is one of the best point guards of all time.
Crafty.
But the
See
Warriors,
offensive foul I got the other night.
No,
It was trash.
I don't
But-
watch the games. I just watch the highlights.
the Warriors,
ESPN on Snapchat, right?
Right.
There you go.
the Warriors are too good. They're too well coached. D'Antoni's teams don't usually make it to the finals because they don't play any defense. They're just an offensive based team. The Warriors get it done. This is the close series. This goes to 6 or 7, but the Warriors, the star power takes over for the Warriors and they get to the finals.
Talk about a fun one to watch. I mean, seriously, that's going to be
It's gonna be a good
a
one.
heck of a series to watch, right?
Good job, Leah.
Appreciate that one. No editing required.
So you guys got the Warriors? Warriors coming out?
Oh yeah.
And then 7.
Warriors. Okay, so the
They're not
Eastern
gonna
Conference.
take a 3-1 lead and then blow it like the Rockets usually do.
All right, so
We'll see.
the Eastern Conference. We know Eastern Conference is extremely weak, so we're gonna go quickly with these.
Yeah.
So for the one matchup, we got the Raptors versus the Bucks. I think the Raptors get by this. Antetokounmpo, I think, shows that he is a superstar. He makes it a little bit closer than people expect, but I think the Raptors in 6. What do you guys think?
DeMar DeRozan just reinventing the mid-range game. It's a lost art, but like he's the guy he's the mold of their team, and then they still have Kyle Lowry and a tremendous defense. So like it's hard to not cheer for the Raptors.
Yeah,
They got
Raptors.
Drake on their side too.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the
Raptors.
Raptors are taking that one.
For the
But I do
2-7
think-
match. Oh,
I think the Greek Freak is the next LeBron.
Greek Freak is there. He
Or Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I think they both could be. I mean, look at the way they play. You know, they both are guys who maybe their shot isn't where
Nowhere near where it could be.
right.
Then again, LeBron's wasn't either. LeBron was a
Exactly.
terrible jump shooter for a
LeBron
long
was a
time.
terrible shooter
Yeah.
for a while. You know, and that part of
Even
the game-
now, LeBron's not a great jump shooter. He just
he had
he's
a
a-
better 3-point percentage from 3 than Steph Curry did this year.
well,
He just
I mean,
didn't shoot as many.
yeah. I mean, but if you can't put LeBron James and Steph Curry in the same breath when shooting.
You can,
3
'cause
points.
different players.
Yeah, but they play
Yeah,
the same basketball game, like different style. But like LeBron still shoots 2, 3, 4, 5 threes a game.
Okay, and Jamie Moyer
Yeah.
and Aroldis Chapman played the same.
You
sport
can't
too.
put
You can't compare them.
LeBron is a great player, but in terms of 3-point shooting, LeBron is not in Steph's class of 3-point shooting. Steph Curry half court is a good 3-point shot for him. LeBron can shoot threes, but he's always been
He's
a
a
below
catch and
average
shoot
three-
kinda guy.
He's always been below average. Okay, 2 and 7, we got the Celtics versus the Heat. This one is going to be interesting. Kyrie is out for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward is not coming back. They are relying all on their young guys: Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. It is.
Jason Tatum's good though.
He
He's
looks good.
Nobody's saying he isn't good, but
Right.
these are rookies.
yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Personally, I think this one is close, especially with the Heat. The Heat could be a nice matchup. Celtics win in 7, a very close 7. Celtics win.
Wow, the best 2 words in sports, right?
I think Dwayne Wade comes back with a vengeance this year, and he takes it in 6.
I would not be surprised if the
Yeah.
Heat win this series.
I think we'll see vintage 2007 Dwayne Wade when he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated for Kids with the goldfish on him.
Yeah,
think-
I have that magazine.
Yeah, dude,
still,
I don't know why I remember that one, but I do. It's really interesting. I got Sports Illustrated for Kids when I was like 9, and for whatever reason, I stopped subscribing. Right?
Yeah, you
Years
still don't
ago.
get it?
Like no, they still send it, but like I ended my subscription years ago, and I don't pay for it. But hey, I'll take it. Right?
Yeah, really.
It's funny.
So now we have the 3 and 6 matchup. Okay, so who do you think? Heat or Celtics?
I'll take the Heat.
They take the Heat? Oh, okay, I wouldn't be surprised. That's going to be a good series. So now we got the 3 and 6 matchup, the 76ers versus the Wizards.
John Wall.
This is a good one, but I'm taking the Sixers.
Oh, man.
I am believing in the 76ers
Trust
right now.
the process.
I am
Joel Embiid is too much.
I am trusting the process. And I think it's Joel Embiid too, but Ben Simmons is the difference in this. Ben
and Markelle
Simmons,
Fultz is back.
Yeah,
He's
Markelle
fully
Fultz
back
has
in the
been
lineup.
Incredible.
Yeah.
people forget him. Like, oh, this is number 1 pick. Obviously,
Yeah.
we knew he had shoulder
Just because
problems.
he's out for like half the year doesn't mean he's not a good player.
Yeah.
I think the Sixers roll.
The city of Philadelphia's got something going. The Eagles, Nova,
Yeah.
Sixers. The Phillies are still trash, but that's okay. The Flyers are in the playoffs.
Speaking of the Phillies, Joey Votto's on-field antics are absolutely hysterical.
Again at Citizens Bank Park, just trolling the crowd. It's beautiful.
So we got the Sixers beating the Wizards, and then we have the 4-5 matchup, the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Pacers. LeBron James is going to be LeBron James.
He's not going to let Lance get in his head this year. Not even close.
This one I think is a sweep. I don't think the Pacers win a game.
Victor Oladipo is dropping 60 in each game, and it's over.
And they still lose.
No. Yeah, they still lose.
Yeah,
exactly.
they still wouldn't win. Okay, so we got the Toronto Raptors versus the 76ers in the next round.
That's a good one. I still like the Raptors, though.
I don't like them that deep in the postseason.
Really?
76ers, I'm telling you, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and the complementary pieces, the Robert Covingtons, the JJ Redicks, that is what is going to be the difference. We know what you're going to get from Simmons. You know what you're going to get from Embiid. They're going to be great. The Covingtons, the JJ Redicks of the world, the Markelle Fultzes of the world. If these guys give you 15 this year, I think I got the Sixers in 6.
And I tell you what, they are the perfect bandwagon team. They are.
They're all young guys. Trust the process.
Exactly.
It's so easy to buy into the product.
Exactly. It's so easy to hate on a franchise for forever because they're terrible after AI left, but ever since then, they've been awful, and it's so easy to hate on the franchise. But then they accrue those number 1 picks. Once they finally hit on them, tell you what, they're set, and they're an easy team to root for.
Yeah. And then, so we got the Sixers. Each of us has the Sixers going.
I think so, yeah.
Sixers to the Eastern Conference Finals. And now we got the Cavaliers and the Celtics, which we all thought would be the conference finals with everybody healthy. This is what we were expecting.
Both teams tanked. Not tanked, but didn't do as well as everyone proposed they would.
This one, the Cavaliers, I think in 4 or 5 get it done pretty
There's
easily.
no way without the Kyrie effect in the game they even win.
With Kyrie and Gordon Hayward,
they won't win one game. I think.
They're going to struggle to win a game against LeBron
and their
James.
defense is not strong. I mean, Braun plus bad defense equals many points.
Yeah,
many points.
If they had Gordon Hayward and Kyrie, I think this would be a 6-7 game series
without a doubt. And
really
I think at that point it's a toss up.
Exactly.
I don't think I make a call there. I think I say I'm gonna let this one go.
But what we're going with, obviously, without Kyrie or Gordon Hayward, the LeBron and the Cavs easily go. So we got the Sixers and the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. This should be fun.
Yeah.
Star power: LeBron, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, number 1 overall pick, Markelle Fultz.
I mean, K-Love is back.
Kevin Love.
Yeah, I mean, the entire Cavs roster is going to be healthy, fully in finals drive by that point, and the Sixers' inexperience is going to really catch up to them.
Yeah,
as well as their inability to shoot the ball.
Yeah, they have JJ Redick from the bench, and that's all they really have.
Covington can shoot, but I mean,
not on a consistent level though.
Yeah.
And then you look at it and you say, well, a lot of the Cavs were hurt this year. Does that hurt them? But I think it might help them because in reality, while they were hurt, that's never a good thing. Mm-hmm. But it also means you don't get that wear and tear of that long season.
And the Cavs are healthy now; they're peaking and they're healthy at the right time.
Exactly. So they can take advantage of that quote unquote rest that they have.
I want to see that Cavs team when they first played Boston after the big trade deadline moves. That team that blew Boston out by 40 points.
And it was supposed to be game of the century.
Yeah.
And it was the second game of the year or something.
No, this was right after the trade deadline. Yeah. And they cleaned house. The Cavs did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they do something? Was it the first?
Remember, that's when we thought the Cavs were actually back. Okay, cool. The Cavs they're right there to compete for a championship, even though they won an 8-game losing streak.
But that
afterwards.
just proved that this team has potential to do great things, just as the old Cavs team did.
Potential, but they never showed that.
Exactly. It's just potential. It's saying a lot.
Braun's the one who encouraged all those trades. He's probably the one who made them happen.
The GM of that team.
GM. So here's
LeBron said
he damn near. Sorry, I broke the streak. I'm sorry. I said
oh man.
But he pretty much fired Ty Lue. He had to sit out on quote unquote personal leave for a week. He was just scared to face LeBron every day. He's a terrifying man.
I think that LeBron is a future GM in Cleveland. I really think he is of the Cleveland
or somewhere
Browns.
He's gonna own somebody.
He's gonna be the Cleveland Browns GM.
He's made it clear that he wants to own a team after he's done.
Oh yeah,
so that's gonna happen.
MJ.
I think the Sixers have a great showing. I think Simmons and Embiid show that they're here to stay, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in the future. But this year, they don't get it done. LeBron James and the Cavaliers in 6. So in the finals, we got the 4-peat, Warriors versus Cavs. Who gets it done? Who is the NBA champion? Personally, I'm pulling for LeBron. You know, all these people are talking about how much he loses in the finals.
We're going to talk about that later, though.
But we'll talk about that. But right now, especially at this time, Curry's probably back to almost fully healthy. As much as you got to be objective here, the Warriors get it done, and they cement themselves as a dynasty. 3 championships, 4 years.
They've already been cemented as a dynasty, but like this is like the cherry on top because this is like I think LeBron's been patting himself on the back because of his accomplishments because he knows this is one of his last chances to go to the finals. So if the Cavs don't get it done this year, I don't think they'll ever get it done again. And LeBron's either going to go to LA or like some other franchise and like have one last boost in his career. But after this, I think this is the Cavs' last run because like all these trade deadline moves. This is them getting ready for the next few years without LeBron.
Yeah. You think the Warriors get it done? Is that what you're predicting?
That's what I predicted, yeah.
The Warriors, okay.
It's just hard to cheer against LeBron. I'm still cheering for you, buddy.
No, but so hopefully LeBron gets it done, but objectively, I don't see the Cavs beating the Warriors.
I think it's going to be one of the more exciting NBA playoffs that we've seen in quite some time, and I think it's going to culminate with an absolute snoozer of a finals.
Just like last year.
I think it's going to be worse than last year. I'm taking Warriors in 4 here.
Think it's a sweep?
I think it's a clean sweep.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of the games are going to be close. I think you're going to see 10, 20-point spreads.
And do we remember last year it was hyped up to be the best finals ever? Everybody was healthy. Because remember the first one, Kyrie and Kevin Love. Second one, Draymond got suspended. But they were lucky to come back in 3-1.
I don't know why, but Kevin Love went like 0 for 50 that entire series from 3.
He might as well have been hurt. They would have got more production from Joe Schmo.
The last year was the one. Everybody's healthy. Now you got KD, LeBron. All the coaches are there. All the players are there. It's finally time. Let's settle who's the better team.
And
the series is
Cavs
not
just
close.
Didn't show up,
It's an absolute blowout. And actually, Kevin Durant outplayed LeBron James.
But it's hard to challenge the Warriors at all when they drop 130 a game. You can't just match that with good offense because they're the longest, widest defense in the game.
And they're a good defense. They drop all this.
Klay Thompson plays better than everyone hypes him to be. Draymond Green is the cement mixer in that whole defense. Kevin Durant may not be praised for his defense, but he's got the longest arms in the NBA. So you can't.
He's a really good shot blocker.
Lane. Yeah.
And you can make all the arguments. Kevin Durant outplayed LeBron last year, and especially in clutch time. When it was time to be clutch, Kevin Durant was clutch.
Yeah. And I'm saying this with Braun and JR being my 2 favorite players in the league, and just it's tough to see.
So there we have it. We got the Warriors taking it all. And so now we are going to jump to baseball quickly and talk about the biggest story in baseball right now, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, showing up everybody. He had the worst spring from a hyped up player I've ever seen. It's just the hype didn't live up to what it should be, and now he's 2-0, 18 innings, something like that.
2.03 ERA.
Perfect game through 6 innings.
Multiple home runs, 7 RBIs.
400 batting average.
Everything is just working for Ohtani right now.
It really is.
He's the biggest story in baseball.
He's got a sweet, sweet swing, I tell you what.
Rightly so. I mean, he's getting the job done.
It's like Ichiro, but an uppercut kind of, with a lot more power.
Obviously, we know it's early. We're only a couple weeks into the season, but for right now...
It's still time for the Reds to make a run at it.
Yeah, the Reds are...
Not without Suarez.
And speaking of, Ohtani, hopefully this keeps up and we get more of a historic season from him.
I want to see Mike Trout win. That's what I want to see. I want to see Mike Trout in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think Bryce Harper is building his status for he wants the $400 million contract
because he is on an absolute tear right now.
He's building himself to be able to ask for more. Not that he'll get it, but knowing Bryce Harper,
he's going to ask.
He has 7 home runs right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's hit a home run I think in 4 or 5 consecutive games.
Starting with
the last game of the Red Series when he had 2 home runs. Ever since that game, he has been the best hitter in baseball.
Dude's a beast. He's a heck of an athlete, too. People don't realize he can take a bag.
And on the opposite side of the spectrum, we have Giancarlo Stanton with 15, 16 strikeouts already. Yeah. He has more strikeouts than, who was it that had 13 strikeouts all year in the 1941 season for the Yankees?
I think it was Joe DiMaggio.
It was DiMaggio or Garrick. Hit
I think it's DiMaggio.
Yeah, it was DiMaggio.
It was the same as a 52-game streak, same season.
Yeah, he had 13 strikeouts all year. And in 2 weeks into the season, Giancarlo already has more strikeouts than he did.
This is the pressure of New York. If he puts up these same things and same numbers on Miami, it's just, he's struggling. It's whatever. Yeah. But this is New York.
It's a big stage. Yeah.
You're going to have all the pressure put on you. You got traded. You guys have the most vaunted lineup ever. and like all this hype about the Yankees, and he is striking out at a historically bad rate, and it's because he's in New York. That's why it's being so glorified.
This is Adam Dunn and Mark Reynolds times 10.
Yeah, that's bad.
He'll get it together, I'm sure.
And now for some news about our Cincinnati Reds. Eugenio Suarez is hurt. Scott Schebler is hurt, both on the DL. And now let the Nick Senzel rumblings begin. What do you think the Reds will do with him?
April 13th. Just count it down.
They'll wait and do this Chris Bryant effect so they gain another year of control on his contract.
Right.
And he's the next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Senzel and Hunter Green. These two are the cornerstones of the Reds franchise.
Yeah, and Hunter Green had 100 miles an hour in his single-A debut. Might be worth a trip up to Dayton at some point. See him
He
play.
is in Dayton right now. Yeah. He actually pitched yesterday. These two are the offensive cornerstone is Nick Senzel. The pitching cornerstone is Hunter Green. Mm-hmm. Both of them are showing extremely good signs. You know, the Reds look like they're going to get another top pick this year. They don't look like they're going to win too many games.
No.
So they'll add another top prospect. So the future of the Reds is bright. And we may see a big part of that future here soon with Nick Senzel possibly coming up.
It's exciting stuff, even though they're terrible, and my prediction
It's just hard to watch them right now.
Yeah.
You can only just keep hope.
Pitching is bad, hitting is bad, bullpen hasn't been good. It's just, there's nothing.
Well, at least Jared Hughes makes friends. Did you guys read that article?
Yeah.
I saw on Bleacher Report, Jared Hughes quote, "I feel like I make friends to every team I go to." Well, you go to quite a few teams. You're not exactly a good pitcher.
Everyone wants him.
I guess.
And something I want to point out about the Red Sox really quickly before we move on. Their situational hitting has been the worst I think I've ever seen.
It's been a problem for years.
They have guys bases loaded, no outs, and they can only get one run out of that.
I don't mean to like.
It's terrible.
You know.
Their situational on base hitting has been the worst I've ever seen from any team.
I don't mean to be biased or anything, but looking at the Cubs, that's why they were good the past few years, because they hit when it's clutch time.
Situational
They
hitting.
hit when runners are on base, and they get the runs in when they need to. Everyone in their lineup does
late in
it.
the inning. It's not.
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
during the game when there's a man on second and
Right.
2 outs. You cash them in.
Runs in the second inning count as just as much as runs in the 8th inning.
That's
Yeah,
what happened yesterday.
Take the whole game seriously, not just the 8th and the 9th.
The Reds are, without question, the worst situational hitting team so far in the season. It's not even close.
It's bad.
Which is why they have one of the worst records in MLB. If you can't situationally hit, you're not going to win games.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
There's not much more to say about the Reds. They're scuffling, that's for sure. So Senzel will be a highlight. Other than that, we don't have too much yet. So
Also, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is lighting it up in Double A. I should expect to see him in the majors soon.
We'll see him by the end of the year for sure.
he's a heck of a player.
Yeah, Vlad Guerrero Jr., we got a lot of top prospects coming up. A lot of top prospects getting caught with steroids. A lot of top prospects pitching need Tommy John surgery. So there's so much going on in the world of baseball right now.
It just sucks to see such young guys, getting Tommy Johns at such a young age. I mean, they're going to come back throwing harder because that's what Tommy John does. But, at the same time, just knock a year off of their experience. It just stinks.
It almost seems like it's a rite of passage almost. All these guys are getting Tommy John. It seems like almost everyone's getting it. And it's I mean, I don't like to use the word epidemic, but almost.
But it's something in the way these guys are being coached, like the way they're being taught to throw the ball.
That's what the problem is. They're throwing. They're not pitching.
Yeah,
they're
just
throwing
as hard as
they can.
There's no
but they're
Greg Maddoxes in the league anymore that just sit about 85.
I disagree. I don't think it's about their throwing technique. Some
really?
of them are bad. Other ones are extremely mechanically simple, straight to the plate, good looking. I think it's simply that in today's age, these guys are not playing baseball in the summer and then different sports throughout other parts of the year.
What,
They're
MLB players?
Yeah,
these young
MLB
players.
If you're in the MLB, you're playing.
You have a
all year round.
one-time job.
You're
Unless
playing all year
I'm talking about as you're growing up. These guys are playing year-round ball because all these guys are coming from California, Texas, and Florida, where it's warm weather year-round. They're playing year-round. They're playing not just year-round ball, but also showcases where kids are being asked to throw 80 pitches 3 days in a row. You're not asked to do that in the major leagues, nonetheless at age 14.
And kind of building off that, I think it starts at a younger age than people think. I think people are throwing curveballs and breaking balls too young at 10 years old.
Usually the Mendoza line.
Wear and tear.
The Mendoza line is around 12 years old, 13 years old. You teach them a Kroger brand curveball where they don't snap their wrist, but they just hook it like they're throwing a football. Around 13, 14, 15, they snap their wrists and they get their elbow torn up by the time they're 19, 20.
It's
so
all
this is
about
where
if they have the arm strength.
Yeah.
And that's always a big thing. We always see young pitchers. What is always their biggest problem? Command.
Yeah.
They're not taught to pitch. They're throwing as hard as they can. They're trying to show off, and that's always the biggest problem for a young guy. Cody Reed from the Cincinnati Reds. What happened yesterday? He could not find the strike zone, and when he could, he was just throwing meatballs, and the Phillies were just scoring. These guys,
The Phillies.
yeah,
Philadelphia Phillies.
these guys are throwing and they're not pitching, and that's bad overall because the hitters are gonna kill you, and obviously that's bad for your arm because you're just throwing as hard as you can without actually saving things for later. Like the guys like Clayton Kershaw, they'll save some of that 98 juice for the 6th or 7th inning. You got these young guys throwing 100 miles per hour first, second inning, and by the 5th or 6th, they don't have the same type of velocity, they don't have the same type of command, and that's what we're seeing with all of these injuries.
Not everyone is Justin Verlander.
Yeah, that's why guys like Verlander and Scherzer, they're lasting so long in the league because they save all their good, really good, fantastic pitches to the 6th and 7th when they're about 90 pitches in and their fatigue's showing, obviously. They're not going to, ride around the edge of the zone anymore. They got to rely on their off-speed pitches to get them through innings sometimes.
Because they're fatigued, not done, whereas these young guys who are throwing 100% on each pitch
are out by the
done.
5th inning, and they have to rely on the bullpen, and that's when it happens.
Yeah, that's to sum it up.
So we did say that we were going to get into the GOAT debate, but we took a lot longer than expected on our playoff predictions and on baseball. So we will wait till further week in the future to get to the GOAT debates. So don't worry, we will get to those.
We will.
So
it was a bit of a tease. Maybe the whole time we knew we weren't going to get to it.
Just know, though, guys, we got a lot of good GOAT debates coming from different sports, so definitely stay tuned for those in the upcoming weeks.
It'll be fun.
But we are going to sign off here, guys. We thank you guys for listening. For Ryan Karangle, Leo Saylor, Ryan Poley, I'm Safwan Alvey. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.